Oh no!
No!
Ring!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction to the Schmeodown right here on Dedicated to Art. I'm, of course, your host, Schmeodown, joined by the usual panel, Chris and Nico, for, well, one of the last matches of round one of the singles tournament, Bateman versus Shannon Miller. Yeah, what to say about this match? Nico, what do you have to say about this match?
To me, it all comes down to how much Liz Shannon Miller has been studying behind the scenes, because we've seen behind the scenes how much Ben is studying, like to the point that he's actually bringing in the fan base to help him study. Liz, I know she works in the field of movies, so maybe Ethan Irwin has been helping her prep over at Silver Pictures. Maybe Janine's gotten in on a few of her study sessions. Hard to say. So I feel like this is one of those times where I have to go with the devil I do know opposed to the devil I don't know, so I'll give it to Ben.
That's interesting. Chris?
Look, in terms of the experience game, we saw how well Ben did last year in the singles tournaments. And sure, it behooved me the entire time because of his success, but I can't deny that he was pretty good. And lest we forget, he's a team's tournament finalist and a team's tournament winner. So I'm sorry, but the Ultimate Schmeodown is kind of his place to shine.
That is fair. Yeah, I personally, look, I love Ben Bateman to death. Everyone knows that. I have Miller winning this match in my bracket. I think she had a pretty good run already this year. And in the end, you can say about tournaments what you want, but Miller is just really good at trivia, period. And she comes in and she knows a little bit of the game, but it's not really for her about playing the game. It's just answering questions correctly that she does. And she does that a lot. And the thing is, Bateman is one of those competitors that always faces an opponent that is just better than him. And he makes a mistake. And I think that will happen to him today, unfortunately. And I hate that it happens to him, but, you know, it has happened on several occasions, and I feel like it'll happen today. I might be wrong. You guys might be right. I have no idea. Of course, we won't know until we actually see the match. So let's just press play on this thing in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
Dear,
We have
dear.
a terrible problem.
Oh, well, what is that? What's amiss?
Sorry to interrupt your contemplation, but I've been sending JTE numerous telegrams, and he is not responding to me.
No. Do not worry about Jite. I assumed long ago that there was a chance that Snape might betray us once more, betray our trust, get onto another vehicular transport that he could not control. I knew that he might depart before we had a chance to enter the tournament, but I have taken the liberty of finding a new partner for our association, my colleague Simon.
Who?
I can't actually read. Now, you recall my recent
British
survey-
Dan
I
Merle?
can't actually read.
Yes, of course. You were checking out the Flemish countryside.
So a scholarly walkabout to the Flemish countryside as I sojourn every few years. During my sojourn, I encountered Simon here. He informed me we were colleagues, we were roommates back in. Was it Oxford?
Why doesn't he just team up with...
and Cambridge
Oh,
at the same time.
Oxford by Cambridge. You hyphenate.
Oxford by Cambridge.
Right, it's like Stratford-on-Avon.
3 whole years you didn't look at me once.
Well, I was deeply lost in contemplation, as I just was right now, staring. I ruminate, I gesticulate. This is part of the scholarly life. I apologize.
Well, you know what they say, 3 out of 8. I mean, I don't
What's
know
the rest of
if
that?
they say that.
I've never said that.
3 out of 8.
Who's they?
Them?
Right, got
Yes.
it.
Popular British parlance, I'm assuming.
Ibid upset them. Got it, right.
Well, good. Then I'm happy you have a new partner, and I will continue to manage this team the best way I know how. But
Please.
perhaps we should change for the evil geniuses, since that was a JTE construct, to something more supreme, as it were, something with sour cream.
We shall think about it. What would people of such supreme intellect as us call a team?
I'll
That's
have
the
to
question.
think about it, and I'll get back
You know
to
what you should do? Ruminate on it.
You're doing a marvelous job.
Yes,
You're doing a
wonderful.
marvelous job.
Wonderful work on everything.
He's terrible. Who is he?
He is my brother, but I quite agree with you. Rather than getting offended by this, I'm going to agree with you and say
Well, I'm
yes.
your brother now.
He's doing a terrible job. I shall call Mother and let her know.
Give my love to Mother.
Cheers.
By the way, did anyone hear him say, "I can't actually read"?
Yeah.
Those were the first things he said.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why they didn't go back to the Harris brothers. Might be just me.
I like Simon already.
To the movie trivia Schmeodown. The singles tournament.
For all we know, he's a
continues,
British
and what a
Dan Merle.
tournament It's been so far. I'm Christian Harlow.
He
dresses like one.
Mark, how you doing?
Looks
I am
like
baby
it.
carrots around these parts, Christian, and I love a good playoff format. I love a good tournament
Oh,
setting.
and I
That is
remember
what we have
audience
in
at
the
home.
movie trivia Schmeodown. It's the ultimate Schmeodown, like you said, the singles division, and we have somebody who we've
I'll
known
get
for
the
a while
hashtags
to answer a
ready
lot
as
of
well.
movie trivia questions. Then we have someone who we haven't known as long for a while who can answer a lot of movie trivia questions. Going to be quite a clash here today.
But what an impact. You're talking, of course, about Liz Shannon Miller at 3-1. She battled at the Collision in the #1 contender match against the now champion primetime Paul Oyama. So she already has been battle tested. We know that she is a worthy competitor, and she's here now in her first tournament. Now that can always be intimidating, but she played at the Collision in front of thousands of people watching, a bunch of people here. And on the other side of it, she's staring at Ben the Boss Bateman, who has had a bit of a rough season. I mean, he's had a rough season. When you look at it, Ben Bateman is touted to be like the next big superstar. What Ben Bateman has been able to do so far in this league, his studying has been mimicked by other players. He won the teams tournament last year. But this year, he lost to the odd couple in Chicago. He was supposed to he had the big match against Andrew Guy that he won in Houston, but then against Mike Kalinowski,
Yeah, but that's Andrew
he
Guy.
loses that and loses his opportunity to go to New York. So the Horsemen and Ben are reeling right now.
Yeah, Ben's legacy, it's really a question of, are you going to be known for a guy who was able to win a lot of matches, or maybe a guy that set a new standard in how you prepare for matches? Because a lot of people, like you said, that came into the league this year, look at how Ben Bateman prepares, but did they elevate from him, or can he continue to be at the top rung? And for Liz Shannon Miller, like you said, she played Paul Oyama. She played very well against Paul Oyama. She is not intimidated by a guy that wears sunglasses.
No, it doesn't seem like it, but we also know that the winner of this match plays Paul Preston, and you talk about a guy that's just rising up as a superstar.
Powder keg, big fan of whey protein, that guy.
He is 3-1 right now, and he's waiting in the wings.
Regardless who wins this match,
One of these
they're gonna win the
Ben
other
Bateman
the
or
next
Liz
match
Shannon
as
Miller,
well.
but that's what
Yes,
this
they
tournament's
will.
all about. This tournament,
I actually
this
have Paul
tournament
winning
started
that
this
one.
entire
Oh my
league.
God, Nico.
So this is a big match. This is one of the last matches, and we're excited to have
I mean,
both Ben
Paul's
and
good,
Liz
but-
Shannon Miller.
Get off
And
the
talk
hype
about
train, bro.
Nerdtronic,
Get
the
off
best
the
promo guy
hype
in the
train.
biz. He put it together to show you how we got here.
He's good at the game. I can't deny that.
Obviously, you're 3-1 now, but you're going to be in the singles tournament.
My first Ultimate Schmeodown tournament. I don't know what makes it more ultimate than all the others, but it's
She has
been
a
a fun
really
ride
good
so
shirt.
far, and I look forward
She
to
does.
discovering
It is
what
a
comes
great
next.
shirt.
To say the Horsemen are underperforming would be the biggest understatement in the history of understatements.
The Horsemen, we've struggled a little bit
The
recently.
Horsemen
It's obvious
are
to see, but
underperforming.
there's,
They have no belt.
half of the season left, right? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little frustrated. I played badly in that match. I'm not going to deny that.
Would we have loved to have been in New York against Paul Oyama? For sure. But we're coming.
I think Ben Bateman is never going to be a guy that gets too down on himself, and he's got a great set of teammates to pick him back up.
That's behind me. I don't want to worry about luck. I don't want to talk about losses. All I want to talk about is winning.
Him and Roker are the only guys we got in this tournament. Riley's gone. Earl's not in it. I like our
Yeah,
chances.
why wasn't
Losing
Merle
the
in
last
it though?
match was, it was my first loss, and so I didn't know going in how that would feel, and now I know what it feels like to lose, and it doesn't rule. But I'm just coming in, no expectations. I'm just here to have fun and play a game, and I'm feeling really relaxed and calm.
It's a great opportunity for me to go in there and remind you guys of who I am, who the boss really is, and what it actually takes to be a real competitor in this game, to be a real professional. That's what I'm here to do.
My approach has always just kind of been slow and steady, and also trust my base level of knowledge and not let nerves get the best of me.
In the old days in this league, you could miss 5 or 6 questions and win a match. It's not like that anymore. Your first round opponent, they're a 3-1 person who used to be in contention for a title. That's the truth. That's the reality. I'm not walking in here thinking this is a cakewalk anymore. I gotta go in there and I gotta show her it's about trivia, and it's about gameplay, and it's about attitude.
We're serious this time.
Not a lot of jokes from Finstock. Feels weird.
Well, okay, I'll put it this way. If they were facing, let's say, Drew McWeeny or Andrew Guy, there'd be a lot more jokes, but...
No, but they have
say
respect
this,
for
Nerd
Liz. They
Chronic
know
was
that
better
she's
than
good.
Chronic Tacos.
Oh, yeah?
No longer
Ben
in business
already
across the
recognized
street.
it.
No longer in business.
Like,
Makes sense.
she is someone who had a title
Rubalcaba,
shot, who's
big
3
fan
and
of
1,
me,
who
not
knows
so
her
much.
shit.
We came
You
to
can't
blows
miss
almost.
questions.
Well, it makes
Because
sense.
if you miss a question,
So
it
this
might be
is
the
a
game.
match that we
Talent
know
recognizes
a
talent.
lot is on the
Exactly.
line. And I think that Liz Shannon Miller is actually the one who seems a little bit more.
It's kind of like when I
relaxed, a
faced
little bit
Sean
more calm, as
Sandberg
what Ben
last
Bateman
night.
said it as much in the pre.
You know,
He's frustrated.
Well,
I
once
knew
you
going
get
into that
to this
match,
place and you've been
I
here
couldn't talk any
before,
crap.
You feel like you have pressure
On
you
Sean,
to
anyway.
continue to
Coho,
do what you have
I'll
done,
talk
what
all the
you've been
crap on him
touted
I
to be able
want,
to do.
because I've
But
beaten him
generally,
twice.
You come in here, it's the playoffs. Yeah, if she knocks Ben Bateman out, I think Ben Bateman feels
You're
like
gonna
he's
face
more
him again,
right
aren't
now
you?
than Liz Shannon
I am
Miller,
gonna
but the
face
winner,
Sean
like you
again.
said, is going to
I'm
continue
scared,
to
okay?
evolve in this playoff season.
All right,
I'm
tail of the
scared.
tape. Here is the tail of the
It's a
tape.
never-ending
You have
cycle
Liz
with you
Shannon
two.
Miller, who is good at directors. You have
It just
Oscar
happens to
movies,
be
and being
in the
able
tournament
to
of the
really
face-off.
make that hat look incredible.
And
Good
it
at
just happens
wearing
to be in
hats, the
multiplex
best
at
hat wearer
kind of
since
the same
Dick
time.
Tracy.
And there you have Ben the Boss Bateman. Oscar movies, movie.
Prevent
release
Nina
dates,
from
and
being
able
arrested.
to Stop Tom from getting arrested.
He was the
That-
best
that's
sunglasses
needed.
wearer since
That
Mark
is very
Harmon in
needed.
summer school.
Nice.
How do you like that?
That's a good reference. I
Yeah.
like it. All right. With that being said, Mark, we're ready to start this match. How about you?
Yeah. Well, you said we, so I guess you're answering
Well,
for me
we,
now.
collective we.
No. Go ahead. Answer all my questions to the camera.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, it's
And
time
for
for
the
the
movie
trivia
Schmeodown!
Playoff atmosphere. You can feel it in the crowd. There's something in the air tonight.
Introducing first, with a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 knockout.
She is lower ranked.
She is Lightning Liz Shannon Miller. There she is. Look at that shirt.
There's the hat. Very Carmen San Diego. Where in the world is Liz Shannon Miller? She is ready to compete.
She's ready to compete. Question is her opponent?
I believe that's a droid shirt she's got on. That is R2D2, the best droid in the game.
And her opponent.
Oh, there's a copyright.
Representing
Thanks,
the
Ben.
Yeah.
Five Horsemen.
Yeah.
Led to the ring by his manager, Tom Dagnino.
What is this song from, anyway?
Of 5 wins, 5 defeats.
The song is, I
and
believe,
2
called
knockouts.
"Who's the Man."
He is the 2018 Ultimate Schmeodown team winner, Ben the Boss Bateman.
Oh, there's Dagnino. And there's Ben.
It's interesting how there are no other horsemen there to support him.
I don't know.
Yeah, is he just holding up 2 5s?
I don't know what he's doing.
Is that
Roka
true?
might have been in Australia at the time.
Oh, it was the
Does
Killers.
not look
Huh.
well closed.
No.
Does not look like he's paying
Okay.
rent.
But so Ben the Boss Bateman, looking all serious, all business here as he just walks to the table, ready to play. And we have Liz Shannon Miller. Ben
Come on,
the Boss
Ben.
Bateman.
No
Mark,
whiskey.
Round number 1.
No
Yep.
Jameson.
We got
He's-
rules to round number
he's
1.
serious
I'm about to
today.
read them right now. This is the singles format. It's a playoff, but it's got to play out like a normal match as far as rounds go, because in round number 1, you're going to hear 8 questions from 8 different corners of the movie Trivia Schmeodown Galaxy. Each question
This is
is
flying
as
in
to
my
field.
room.
It's worth 1 point. As soon as you hear the question, please
Too
write
bad it's
down
not
your
a
best
wasp.
answer and
Am
answer
I
on the board
right?
in front of you. You have about 15
Luckily, it's
seconds
not
to
a
complete
wasp.
that task. And then once we address you by name,
By the
please
way,
reveal what
that
you wrote on the
wasp
whiteboard.
is
Let's
still
please
sitting up
possible
there
to the
dead
camera.
in the
Sometime
light
verbalize
fixture
your
from
answer
Friday.
into the microphone. There is no penalty for missing
God.
a question. Stealing available in round number 1. Each competitor has 3 usages.
And
of
I
the
can't
JT
read-
throughout the duration
I-
of the
If
match.
people are
If you're not sure you
wondering
heard
what the
question,
hell we're
you need to buy
talking
yourself
about,
some
go
time,
to our
another
last Who
15
Cares
seconds.
Anyway
Please
podcast.
use a JTE rule.
Watch the
This will
video
challenge
version,
be
not
used
the audio
throughout the
version.
duration of the
Oh,
match.
oh,
Yeah.
it's
I'm not
hilarious
sure
on
if it was
audio,
captured
though.
on camera, or if they were running the rules card during my reading, but it was nice to see a handshake, a gesture of sportsmanship.
It's all about
Ellis, I'm a nice guy.
It's
With those
not
shades
crazy
on, I don't
with the
believe
words.
it.
We'll see. All right. So, with that being said, the rules have
Oh
been
yeah.
read by
Nothing
Mark
says
Ellis.
nice
Start
guy
with
like
Bateman.
this
You
right
ready?
here.
Absolutely, Christian.
Liz,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Then
Wait,
let's
right
get
here
ready
or
to
right here?
Schmeodown.
We love you, Peck, but we give you a lot of
First
shit.
question. Have at it. First question, category number 1 is fantasy sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. Which comedic actor plays futuristic talk show host Ruby Rhod in The Fifth Element?
All right, so you love science fiction. If I say name a science fiction film, what's the first movie? Because I know it's not Star Wars.
Damn.
We call that space opera fantasy.
Inception.
I forget this guy's name.
Science fiction.
4.
Thought you were going to go with
3.
Kroll.
2.
No.
1. Pens down. Ben.
Chris Tucker.
That is correct. Liz.
Yeah.
1-1.
I was thinking of
On
Chris
the board
Rock.
as we move on
It's
to
like,
your
it's
next
not-
category
it's
in round number 1. That is from the world of
He's the funny one
crime
of the two of them.
movies. Crime films. Your question. Who plays FBI agent Adam Frawley, who is pursuing Ben Affleck's character in The
I
Town?
would guess.
I am an FBI.
No, it's
I'm not
no.
sure right here, but I'm going to take a guess.
What a great best action movie of the 90s.
Not sure if you're
It's definitely
right
people
here.
above it. 5. I'm counting. 4.
The Rock is up there.
3.
I heard too.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, you can.
Who plays FBI agent Adam Frawley, who is pursuing Ben Affleck's character in The Town?
Do like that.
Charlestown.
Charlestown.
Yeah.
And
Should just
5.
waiting.
4.
5-second count.
3.
No banter.
2. 1.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Please. And we start with
John Hamm?
Liz.
Totally blanked. I'm guessing the actor who played Coach Taylor on
Coach
Friday
Taylor.
nights.
That's a great guess.
Good guess. Ben.
That would be Kyle Chandler, but I'm going to say John Hamm.
John
John
Hamm is
Hamm it is.
correct. Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Okay, so 2-1. 2-1. But Liz, using that JTE rule well there, is going to be our thoughts as we get to the next question here. Next question. Dramas. Jeremy Irvine stars as Albert in this 2011 Spielberg film, which was set during World War I.
Oh,
You ever been to Irvine, California?
Oh, they're going to go with the.
Did you ever do the Irvine?
Damn it, these Spielberg films.
You know what the food is?
Chicken wings.
Umami burger.
Oh, I like that.
is
5,
inside of it.
4,
Good place to tell jokes.
3, 2, 1. Ben Bateman.
Warhorse.
Warhorse.
Yes. And Liz.
Not going to show you my board.
Warhorse. People seem to criticize it. I loved it. It was a 5 out of 5 schmoes for me.
Catherine Rabbit didn't like it.
Action adventure movies. It was not right for her. That's from her show. It's from her show. Action adventure films is your next category. The question: David Leitch directs Charlize Theron in this 2017 action film about an undercover MI6 agent.
Shit, what was the title of that?
It's a fine movie.
Oh, wait a minute. I got
It's
it.
a fine movie with one of the best action sequences of the decade.
Unless you're Keanu Reeves. 5,
Farewell.
4,
I'm an undercover
3,
MIG
1.
agent.
Stop that. Liz.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde.
Yes.
Good
And
job, Nico.
There we go. 4-3.
It's a comic book
Bateman
movie. You
Miller
should know it.
Going ahead. It's good first round match so far.
Early in the match, still early in round number 1. We're halfway through. Ben Bateman throwing a perfect game so far. Your next question is in the world of animated movies. Christian, tell us about it.
Thank you so much. You almost stole my question, then you thought better. Animated.
Showing the wizard behind the curtain.
In Brave, how many brothers does Merida have?
Shit movie.
Do you have a ranking for Brave?
Low.
Is it a? It's a Pixar. It's low. Is it Pixar?
Yeah, it's low.
I love how in Ralph Breaks the Internet they treat Merida like she's the literal redheaded stepchild of Disney princesses.
Hands down.
3.
We start with Ben.
2.
Incorrect. Liz?
3.
Yes.
Tie game.
3.
Tie game. Ben missed his first question. Now we have
Also,
a
the
tie
bear,
game.
the bear
Curse of
stuff
the
in that movie
announcer.
ruled.
The bear stuff? I do like the bear stuff.
It's great.
I didn't like anything in that movie.
Your mom's a bear. Let's figure it out and move on.
Next question.
All right, your next question comes from the world of comedies. They're so well trained.
I know you got him.
Your question is, who plays Chris Farley's father, Big Tom Callahan, in 1995's Tommy Boy?
Shit.
Now, can I deliver that question as 1995's classic?
I think it's a modern class.
Ah, you're going by Schmeodown Wheelway.
5,
Top 10 funniest?
I'm not going to pretend that I even have a guess for this one.
2, 1.
Blank.
Hands down. Liz.
Christopher Walken?
Yes. And
Brian Dennehy.
Here we go. Tie game
Brian
still.
Dennehy.
What?
Look at this.
We're not fucking Brian
5-5.
Denny.
What a
Get the
matchup
fuck
so
outta
far
here.
we have as we get to question number 7. Horror/thriller. Horror/thriller. Who directed the 2013 horror smash hit, The Conjuring?
Nope.
Controversial opinion. So Brian Dennehy was an answer.
Oh, come on. You know this director.
First Blood.
The answer is
Wait, do I?
FX2.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Beats up
You
the
do.
dude.
Isn't that
Aquaman.
FX1?
No, it was FX2 in the cloud.
5. I'm thinking of
Oh.
Poltergeist. 4. 3.
I'm not going to give you the points.
We're
for
not
that.
giving you the point, but you're welcome.
1. Pens down. Ben.
James Wan.
Yes.
James Wan.
James Wan.
Tie game. Wow, what a battle.
Right,
What
they know
a
their
battle.
stuff.
Yeah. There we go. Last question.
Well, keep that applause coming, crowd, because our last question, round number 1, is a Patreon question. John Patterson. Up to bat.
Hasn't him in a
Thank
while.
you, John Patterson,
No,
longtime
sure.
patron. If you are not yet a Schmeodown patron, check out which tier is right for you, the Movie Trivia Schmeodown Patreon. John Patterson wanted the category of directors. These are people behind the camera like an RB3 type.
Okay.
And your question in the world of directors from John Patterson, competitors, is which Irish filmmaker has helmed the Shakespeare adaptations, Hamlet, Henry V, and Much Ado About Nothing? So anyway, the clown is like radio controlled. There's no, it's not an actual clown.
feel
It's
like
a
I
remote
believe
control,
it is
and
him.
he's using the remote control, and it's actually beating the
Again,
Would it
Nico
happen in
knows
real
the
life?
director.
I say yes.
5, 4,
Gil,
3,
Professor Lockhart.
2, 1. Liz.
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Tie
Kenneth
game.
Branagh.
7-7. What a first round between
Chris.
I
Ben
know,
Bateman and
I
Liz
know
Shannon
these
Miller. As we get
directors.
to round
I
number
just don't
2,
know
it's the
some of the
wheel
other
round.
stuff they
This
made
has
that wasn't an
either
MCU
made
or
sunk
DCEU
careers here
property.
in the movie Trivia Schmeodown. The wheel
Or Harry
round. How's that
Potter.
go, Mark?
The wheel
Nico,
has emerged,
look at the
courtesy of
fucking
our own
document.
Alex Marzonia. Is he in love? Is he out of love? You never know with that guy.
There is a document.
On the wheel, you're going to see 10
I
different
have
slices.
a million
10 different
documents
corners
in
of
this
the movie
binder
Trivia
in my
Schmeodown
book bag
and
right
Galaxy.
here
Also on
that,
the wheel
that I have
is
to
what
look
every
through on a
competitor
daily
hopes for.
basis.
Spinner's
So-
choice and what the fans
It's the
love,
electronic
opponent's choice.
one.
Once you settle on a category, you're going to hear
IMDb.
4 questions from said genre. Each
This
question
is a game of
is
IMDb I
worth
told you
2
about.
points. However, if you're not sure the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is, in fact, the correct answer, we promise. Keep in mind, competitor stealing is available in round number
I have a backup
2.
plan if the
Christian,
four-way doesn't
back
go
to
my
you.
way in Orlando.
So only Liz Shannon Miller has used 1.
Of course you
Jason
do.
Rule. She has 2 left.
You
Ben
plan
has
for
3
everything.
left. Both have their challenges.
Indeed I do.
Ben Bateman, you are the higher
He
ranked
learned from the
competitor.
best.
Would you like to go first or second?
I feel courteous today. Liz, why don't you go right ahead and spin the wheel?
Sure thing, bud.
You know what? He said he was a nice guy. I doubted him up top. It's starting to
Sure
rock a
thing.
little bit.
Big spin here. There's the spin.
Seriously,
Hashtag.
I didn't feel anything nice about that. Of neither of them.
Shield.
No.
Oh.
Mixed bag.
Ooh.
Stop the mixed bag.
Mixed bag.
Now, does she want to use
Hey,
all of it, or does she want
actually,
to keep the
I'd
mixed
probably
bag?
keep
Could
it.
be anything.
Doozy. It's a doozy.
It could be anything. That's the thing. And
Gonna
Yeah,
keep it.
that's
Mixed
interesting.
bag. All right. I got it.
no, Mike, you really
All
said
right,
in
mixed
this.
bag. Mixed bag. And here we go, Liz. We don't know what's going to be in here, so here.
Reach your arm deep in there, Christian. What'd you pull out?
All right, question 1. This actress played Marilyn Monroe opposite Eddie Redmayne in 2011's My Week with
Michelle
Marilyn.
Williams.
Michelle Williams.
Yes, for 2 points. Okay.
Paying off so far.
Question 2. Susanna Fogel directed this 2018 raunchy comedy.
Girls Trip.
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Blockers, B,
Oh.
Life of the Party,
Yeah, I think
C,
it's
The Spy Who
Blockers,
Dumped
isn't
Me,
it?
Blockers.
D,
No.
Game Night?
The spy.
No, wait.
That would be C.
That is correct for
Oh,
1 point.
okay.
It is.
Because Kate Kane directed
Spy Who
Blockers.
Dumped Me.
That's
We've
right.
all been there.
All right. Question 3.
I haven't seen
What
any of
European
this.
country did Serpico move to after retiring from the police force?
Okay, I'm going to go multiple choice on that one, too.
A, Germany, B, Switzerland, C, Greece, D, Denmark.
Greece, I think.
C, Greece.
It's incorrect. Is it A, Germany, B, Switzerland, C, Greece, D, Denmark?
Switzerland.
For 1 point.
All right.
Oh.
Ice
Very
water in his
important
veins
skill.
with the
Very.
style.
Question. This is the 4th and final question. Okay. What year saw the release of The Day After
2004.
Tomorrow?
As I said, that could be a release date in here.
2009.
That is incorrect.
Whoa!
For the
That's
steal.
2012. He knows it. Don't pretend like you don't know it.
5,
could tie it.
4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Seriously, you're gonna use a
Year
repeat for
saw
that?
the release of the day after tomorrow.
2 JTE rules remain for each category.
2004. You know that.
5, 4, 3, 2.
2002.
It's incorrect. 2004.
2004.
Dude.
All right, so that's the end of that particular
That phase of
line
round.
for Liz Shannon
They
Miller.
had
Still up
correct
by 2
multiples
as Ben
of
Bateman now goes up to spin.
the last
It is
digit, but not
10-8,
the
10-8. Liz Shannon Miller with the lead here over Ben.
Yeah.
the actual correct answer.
That's right. The mixed bag
Four-
call.
9 is not
I
a
don't
multiple
hate
of
the idea
4.
going to mixed bag. Maybe get some more surface.
Oh,
area,
I thought
some
you said
variety
8.
of
My
categories.
bad.
Yeah.
No,
There's the
2004.
spin.
2000,
Sounds like a dump
yeah,
truck
she
coming
said
down the,
2009, but that was
road at
2012.
209.
I enjoy
The other
sound of the wheel.
disaster
Gets the
movie
crowd
from
locked
Roland
in.
Emmerich.
Oh, spinner's choice. That is the pick of Denzel Washington.
Denzel, so
What's he gonna do? Is he gonna
he
swing
should
it
take
in, or
this.
Is he gonna stay with it? His manager coming out to give some advice.
Denzel Washington, famous for his role in Game
We're gonna give a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2. You're gonna keep
gonna
it.
keep
Okay,
it.
here we go.
I was thinking.
All right. All right, Ben. Your question. Number 1 of 4. Who sang the theme song, Streets of Philadelphia, for the film Philadelphia?
Seriously.
2 points and a tie.
Ben, I love you, but you're an asshole.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Bruce Springsteen.
It is, in fact, the boss.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Oh, hey,
Ah,
he's the boss.
ah,
Bruce is the boss.
Yeah.
Tony Danza wants to know who's the boss. All right. Ben, your next question, second of 4 in this category of Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington stars alongside Bob Hoskins in what 1990 comedy about a dead lawyer whose ghost teams up with a cop who has donated his heart?
I love this movie, by the way. Did you ever see it?
I literally
Seriously,
think
the
wrote
way
this
that
movie.
Alice phrased that question was ridiculous.
I love it.
Dude,
Underrated movie. 5,
it's like
4.
Multiple choice.
I can provide that. Is
it's
it
like
A,
someone
heart
eating
attack,
an apple
B, heart
in a
condition,
movie.
C, heart valve, or D,
I
heart
feel like
donation?
he's both showing us and screwing with us in regards to
Give him a
his
point.
One more
Give him a
point.
point.
poker
He's
tell.
way around multiple
Yeah.
choice.
So now Ben Bateman takes his first lead.
Like we
here
think
as
that's
it
his
is now
tell,
11
and then he just screws with us
Alright.
about it.
Your
It's
penultimate
like
question in
Le
this
Chiffre
category.
in
Who
Casino
played
Royale.
Dr.
Kind of.
Betty Shabazz in the Denzel Washington-led drama Malcolm X?
Angela Bassett.
Start to feel the intensity in the room here as we get closer and closer.
Yeah. Glad neither competitor has a heart condition.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Angela Bassett.
2 points.
That is
Ben Bateman jumps ahead now by 3, and we move on to one more question, his last one in the world of Denzel Washington movies. This could give you as much as a 5-point lead going into round number 3, Mr.
It'd
Bateman.
be big.
Lead.
In the film Two Guns, Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg must work together despite being undercover for separate agencies. What government agency does Denzel's character Bobby work for?
ATF. I don't know.
CIA.
5, 4,
Homeland Security?
2.
The DEA.
I don't know how he knew it, but
2
he did.
points. Wow. Big
Damn.
pull by Bateman. And now he sees himself with a 5-point lead going into round number 3.
Healthy lead.
It's a healthy lead, but it's certainly many players have come back from 5-point leads as we get into round number 3, and it is the last round here. Mark, how's that go?
I don't know
In
why,
round
but I've
number
become very
3,
distracted
each
by
competitor's gonna
that
give us
piece
a
of
series
Scotch
numbers.
tape
These
on
numbers can
Christian's
range from
laptop.
1 to 20. We need 3 numbers from each of you. The
Like,
first
we
number's
see it
gonna
all the
correspond to
time,
your
but, like,
2-point
why is it
question,
there?
whatever
I'm just
category
asking
that may
myself
be.
that
Your next
now
question's
for the
gonna be
first
worth 3
time.
points. Your last one, should we get that far,
Couldn't tell
is
you.
5 big points. Mr. Bateman, not only are you sitting in that chair, you also have a 5-point lead. So you can give us your series of numbers first. From 1 to 20, we need 3 numbers
Case, why are
that
you
feel
dying?
lucky to you, Mr. Punk.
Let's go 3, 7, and 17.
Of course,
3, 7,
3,
17
Hey.
for 3, 7, and 17 for Bateman.
Um,
Okay, and for
I don't
Liz?
know.
14, 15, and 16.
14,
Actually,
15, and
nope.
16.
Oh, no. She
So
went.
Liz is going to go first
She-
here.
but
She's
she
gonna
always
try to
does
avoid
that.
the TKO as we start with
True,
category
true.
14
She always does
for
that.
Liz. And Liz, you chose comedies. Oh, there you go. That's
Not in round 3, Andrego.
All right, here you go.
Somebody get Andrego out of the studio. Security.
Liz, this mockumentary about beauty pageants and the lengths that some contestants will go to win stars Kirstie Alley, Kirsten Dunst, and Denise Richards.
You had me with mockumentary about beauty pageants. Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Correct, on 2 points. All right. All right. So now your
Jeez,
3-pointer
Makuga.
to tie the game is rom-coms. Rom-coms. Here we go. Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler find themselves stuck together in an African resort for families in this rom-com.
Oh, Blended.
Yeah.
Five, 4.
Use a repeat if you need it.
Question, please.
Absolutely. Second one. Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler find themselves stuck together at an African resort for families in this rom-com.
Blended.
Correct.
There you go.
What a way to play the game there. She took her
That's right.
time. You saw it, and she used it. Good uses of JT, and she's tied the game. Now we bounce to Ben Bateman, who now has to hit his 2-point.
He's got to hit his 2-pointer, and if he does so, he's going to have a 2-point lead over Liz Shannon Miller, who would then be forced to answer her 5-point question. Ben, in order to do that, you need to get this question right in the category of, remember Blended?
Yeah, I remember.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh, look at this.
Drew Barrymore.
Eh.
And your question is, Drew Barrymore plays the character Dylan
Oh,
Sanders
come on.
in what
Charlie's
franchise?
Angel. I was literally thinking, is it going to be a Charlie's Angels question?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Charlie's Angels.
2 points, and he's back in the lead.
All right, so now
needs to
Liz
hit the
Shannon
5.
Miller has gotten herself out of TKO range, but now she has to hit her 5 to stay in the game. If she does, it bounces back to Ben Bateman, who will have a chance to tie the game with his 3. But here we go. Liz, you chose category 16. You chose crime films. Crime films. Here you go. Who played the role of J. Edgar Hoover in 2009's Public Enemies?
He doesn't know.
No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Comini. I don't have it.
And your winner, advancing to the second round.
Good match, though.
Ben, the Boss Bateman. The answer was Billy Crudup. Billy Crudup was the answer. Billy Crudup.
There's a lot of famous historical figures in
did.
Public Enemies. It's a tough 5-pointer, but that's why they call them the 5-pointers.
I've seen
Ben
that
Bateman
movie.
will move on in the tournament, but a great display.
Great
A
I haven't
wealth
seen
of
it
knowledge
ever.
by both competitors here, Christian. Liz Shannon Miller coming up a little short there, but she played a good game. I think that she's learned how to strategize around all 3 rounds at this point.
It's funny, even with the loss, I think this is the best she's played the game. She took her time. You could tell, even with that 3-pointer, she just relaxed and she hit it, and she played a hell of a game there against Bateman.
But you talk about a master strategist when it comes to playing the game,
Right.
figuring your way out around a board. Ben Bateman, perhaps one of the best we've ever seen at the Strategy Incorporated, despite the fact that he was walked out by Tom Dagnino.
Listen, he's playing on the ropes right now, and he knows he's playing on the ropes, and he's at a point that he's got to everything counts. But it's now he's got Paul Preston, which is not easy. He had Liz Shannon Miller in the first round. That wasn't easy. And now he's going to have Paul in the second round. 2 rookies back-to-back. But these are rookies that are coming to play. And like I said, Liz Shannon Miller just showed she's learning the game better and better. She's going to be dangerous every time she's out there.
She played fast. She played loose. You're right. She played like she had nothing to lose. Unfortunately, she
Give her
took
a
the L.
solid
We're going to see
teammate.
her back real soon.
Well, she is backstage now with Jen Sturger.
Who's left?
Liz, let's go.
Thank you so much, guys. Oh, Liz, despite the outcome of that, I feel like I'm watching you learn how to play this game, and you're getting better at it every single time from a strategy standpoint. How did you feel out there? A little more comfortable?
Yeah, I think so. I think the honest truth is, like, I'll confess, like, going first in the wheel round always throws me a bit. Like, the first 3 matches I won, I went second on the wheel round. And so now I'm back to this, like, oh, maybe the superstitions are going to kick in and, like, all that jazz. But
You're not supposed to put that stuff out there for your enemies.
I know. I'm very bad at this game. But I did have a really good time today. I felt really good about getting the ones I got right. I don't feel bad about getting the ones I got wrong. Like, that's, I think, the biggest thing for me is there have been questions I've gotten in this tournament where it's just really, killed me that I missed it, that I knew that one back and forward. And movies I got questions on today, I just wasn't that familiar with. And you can't be familiar with every movie on the planet, as I'm sure everybody who participates in this competition is more than aware of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially when you land on something like mixed bag. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy towards the wheel round, I mean, despite my just talking about superstitions just then, has always just really been like, with the exception of, like, if I know I can't do something, like, take what I get, because, then you never know what kind of questions they're going to be. Like, even in the most difficult, like, as I saw in the JTE JT match I did recently, he's a big Ridley Scott fan. That Ridley Scott round destroyed him, and I felt really bad about that because I have been there, I'm sure.
Take your time, go to multiple choice, limit the amount of damage your opponents can do. These are all just things I'm throwing out there for someone who just sits back and will never play a match ever.
She should have gone for multiple choice from the day after tomorrow question.
This is the end
No.
of your journey in the tournament, but we're hoping you come back next year.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever happens next.
Score-wise, it obviously wouldn't have made too much of a difference.
Congratulations again on your season. And
Yeah,
sadly,
you're not
it
wrong
ends
there.
here.
All right, like Jen just said, Liz Shannon Miller is getting better and better at the game, and I think as
Also
as
for her
we
confidence,
have
I
already
feel.
found out that
That too.
there's going to be a lot of people I think looking at Liz Shannon Miller to say, oh, maybe I want her to play with me.
Invaluable experience when it comes to getting into a tournament setting in general, having that extra added oomph of pressure to you, and then playing against a guy like Ben Bateman, where if nothing else, you are going to pick up some strategy points just by watching how he plays the game.
Right.
So Ben Bateman is a guy that you can look at, and the question we asked at the top of the show, is Ben Bateman just the guy who sets precedents and how to prepare, or can he actually get questions right still? He proved that today.
Well, that's right, and I'm sure, and Jen, I know Jen will ask him also about the fact that the Horseman, and now you had Riley. It looked dire because Merle had lost the title. Riley gets bounced in the first round.
That's only 8 horsemen left, according to Tom Dagnino's count.
But now we have Ben Bateman, who has the victory, and now he's going up against Paul Preston. Very interested to see what's going to happen here. And Jen, take it away.
Thanks so much, guys. Mr. Dagnino, you've got to be feeling pretty good. The Horsemen have having a really rough run as of late, but I feel like there's a little bit of an upswing right now.
Yeah, we're back in the saddle again, and the horse has nothing to worry about because I'm only about 6% body fat now. So here's what needed to happen. Ben needed to win. And guess what? He did. Look, like
There's a plane flying over my house if you hear anything in the background.
Horsemen, we were derailed. Our horses were in the stable, but now they're coming back out. It's going to be the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes.
Sorry for coughing.
And the other one.
I'll take some cough
So
medicine
many
after.
horse references there. Ben, how are you feeling after this match? Obviously,
I'm gonna take my horse
you
to the
watched
Old Town
Riley
Road.
lose. You watched Dan lose his belt. What is
Gonna
that win mean to you
ride till I can no more.
I mean, I went out there, I felt a little tight when I walked in, to be honest, but I just had to play it quiet, and I look over at Liz, and I think Liz is a really talented player. I think she knows a lot about the game. It's arguably she knows as much, if not more, than I do about movies. I've seen her matches, but I was gonna stare at her while she was answering her questions. I was gonna be a part of the game. I'm not trying to be a mean guy. Just I gotta win this match. I gotta play it serious, and I take this stuff seriously. So I was very happy to go out there and win. It felt really good, and it's just one step closer to resurrecting what's happened to this incredible stable that I was fortunate enough to be invited to join. So.
Do you think you just had an upper hand on her by the fact that you do know how to play this game better than most?
Yeah, I mean, there's little things, if you could have heard some of the stuff Gucci and I were saying to each other between the rounds, or
I'm glad I didn't.
yeah, the stuff he said was, next level. But anyway, the point is just kind of crunching the numbers, exactly how many points we needed, how many we could afford to give away, things like that. I was a coin flip away from a TKO in that match. 2 brothers versus 3, 2002 versus 2004. It's just that stuff in your brain where you can't quite lock in, but it's fine. It went in my favor in the end, and I played a tight game. I was happy about that. So.
Well, coming up next, No slouch. Oh.
Oh, there he is.
Excuse me, I'm sorry I can't hear those generic responses. And I think I also heard them earlier today when the Seattle Mariners lost. Those are like from Baseball Player Handbook 101. It's time for new blood, pal, okay?
You know, if the boss went to college, he would have beaten up guys like you. That's the reality. So,
Oh!
He didn't go to college. He was self-educated. But thanks for walking in my interview.
I didn't insult you that you didn't go to college, but you did it for me. Listen, I'm glad you made that poll on Bruce Springsteen because it answers the question, who's the boss? It's clearly Bruce Springsteen, all right? It's time for new blood, all right?
You're wearing a Wimbledon visor from a garage sale. Be honest with yourself. I'm a nice guy, but you're pushing me a little bit.
Dude.
I don't have enough mics back here.
I got this at the premiere, okay?
Yeah,
I
where
got
is
this at
the
the
second
premiere.
mic?
Besides, I can't even hear you behind those sunglasses.
They're loud, as intended. Now get out of my interview, okay? I'll see you in a couple weeks.
We'll see you in a couple weeks, pal. Everybody show up for the exit strategy that he's got for leaving the tournament, all right, when he takes on the powder keg. Everyone's talking about the powder keg. No one's talking about Bateman anymore. No one's talking about, they're talking about Jason Bateman. Or they're talking about you.
No one can hear you because you're not mic'd. Jeez.
We can actually hear him.
Done on the sandals. All right.
I think he's got to go manage Prestige Worldwide or something. Anyways, best of luck to you going forward in the tournament. God help us all. It's over, buddy. Just this interview's done. Back to the desk.
Well, I mean, that was a lot. Paul Preston wears flip-flops with Velcro. Interesting decision.
Well, God bless Jen Sturger that she was able to maintain all that. But look, the powder keg is no joke. I mean, he's getting to this point. Like, this is what happened last season when Ethan Irwin came on the scene. You know, he had a strong first part, but you know what? A reference I think would be Mara Kanopik, right? So Mara Kanopik towards the second half of the season really dominated and wound up winning Rookie of the Year. Paul Preston, it was Paul Preston month at one point. So he had so many different matches, and he's fighting, and he's now becoming a name for the Schmeodown community. People know, and he's becoming one of these Schmeodown pros now that people really want to see compete. And now you have Bateman, who used to be the new blood, who is now turning into one of these, you know, kind of vets, and he's going up against this guy, the powder keg, now in round 2, and that's a match.
But my question is Paul going to be able? He's good with the words and the verbal jabs backstage when he's not competing.
Right.
But is he going to be able to replicate what I think Liz Shannon Miller is able to do today, where you come on and you're loose, you're ready to play, you're not too panicked, you're not nervous. She played her game, she played well. Can Paul Preston do that in a tournament setting against somebody like Ben Bateman? It's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Interested to see if he can live up to the hype.
Same here. And this match definitely lived up to the hype because you had, once again, Liz Shannon Miller had a really nice run this season, 3-2 overall, and she went up against Ben Bateman, who's looking to make a statement and try to win this tournament. So you guys, what do you think? We're asking once again, make sure that you comment and like. We're doing a little challenge here today. Let's see if we can get it up to 2,500 likes and over 600 comments. That's the challenge for you guys today. Go ahead and tell us exactly what you thought of the match. Join the Patreon. If you haven't had a chance to get your tickets to Orlando,
the Magic Kingdom.
Want to see who's going to play in the finals of this tournament? You can see it live. The winner of the tournament will play live, and you can see it. Go to the Schmeodownlive.com, October 19th.
Just make sure that if you get in, Nico,
live from the
win.
Epcot Center next to the Body Wars exhibit.
Not sure
I will try my best.
All right, guys, thank you.
But if I don't,
much
I
for
have
joining us
I have a
for
backup.
Christian Harloff.
I have a
See
backup
you next
plan.
time.
Okay.
There's a minute left. Oh boy.
Harloff's going.
Oh boy.
He's going for the nuke. He's going for RMB's nuke, which I think is really great for RMB.
Hey, he's wearing the
But this
Dollface
could
shirt.
backfire. This is not a good idea.
Look,
Oh,
man,
he is.
all you gotta do is go out there and win the team titles. That's it.
Oh, yeah, you gotta do is win the team title. All I gotta do is win the title. I've been trying to win the titles for 3 years. It's not as.
Hey! I came up with that
I
bit.
don't want to worry about this. I don't want to worry about that. Get your together. Snickers, let's go. Good boy.
You owe another $1.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well.
Case. I just want to say that at one point I did actually have Liz Shannon Miller winning this match on my bracket. And for whatever reason, when I woke up this morning, I feel like Bateman's got this. So,
that's crazy.
Like I understand, because I've been saying this about a bunch of other competitors. It feels like it's time for the new blood to shine. But that said, sometimes when you put one of the older dogs in the corner, they feel like they need to fight their way out of that corner, like they have nothing left to give. And that's essentially Ben's situation right now. And the Horsemen as a whole is that they feel like they're backed into a corner and they're trying to fight back with everything they have.
Look, to be fair, at no point throughout this tournament did I feel confident in my picks. I was always like, yeah. This was one of the matches where I was like, this is a coin flip. Same with Bibbs versus Chance. Same with Janine versus Kalinowski. It's a coin flip. Anyone can win it. I have no confidence. So, I'm very okay with Ben winning because I love that guy, and I hope he goes on a run that I had Miller going, because truth is I had Miller going to the finals based on the bracket. But that's not going to happen. However, that does open the way for Bateman, who could then go to the finals, and I think, he has a shot at that. Because Ben, for the love of anything, beat that fucker Paul Preston. He doesn't deserve to be in this game. You are better than him. Just take him the fuck down in the next match. Move on to the semifinal, where you will probably face Brendan Meyer, and that'll be a good match then.
That will be a good match. And it's
no, because I wanted to say, Stacey, you're good, but you're not going to beat Meyer. Chris.
And I was just going to, build off of your point for just a hot second here, because listen. We've had a ton of fun characters who think they're all that in a bag of fucking chips. Your Andrew Guys, your Ben Batemans. But now we have Paul Preston here who's coming in acting like he has been in this thing for years. When you know what? Listen, buddy, you have all the time in the world to make mistakes. But right now, the old guard has to prove that they still have a place at the table. Because right now, the new blood is literally trying to force everybody who built this league. They're trying to force them out. Knock it off, new people, because we want a balance of the two. At least I do. Paul, get out of here.
I have Brendan beating Paul in the semis. So Paul's going to win this match against Bateman, but he's going to lose to Meyer.
I mean, you're wrong.
You're wrong, but sure.
Have I been wrong that much in this tournament?
You have been wrong. Not much, but you have been wrong.
I've been wrong like 10% of the time. I've been wrong 10% of the time.
Look, this is only the second match I got wrong in my prediction. So, it's we'll see. We'll see about it. But seriously, Paul, fuck off. And Bateman will win. And then I'm yet to call Bateman versus Meyer because, I didn't have that in my bracket, and now I need to figure out who will win that. So we'll get there. I might not even have to. There is a slight possibility that I don't think will happen, but if it happens, that I don't have to predict Bateman versus Meyer. So we'll see about that. But Miller, she was good. It's just that she had a little bit of bad luck with the mixed bag, because mixed bag can be anything, and it can throw you a release date. I said it, and I knew that it would probably be decided on a release date, and it kind of did. Because if she had gotten that one right, that would have been 2 points for her. If she hadn't given away the steal, that would have been a point for her, or two for her instead of a point for Bateman. So it really came down to that mixed bag, because it can be anything. It can be tricky sometimes.
But I do like that she had the confidence to actually go for mixed bag when so many other people would run away from it. Was it a smart move? Debatable. But I like that she had the confidence to actually try and go for that category.
Well, I think she just went with the feeling of, I should know anything in movies. And she probably had the idea of mixed bag being, kind of easy. It doesn't get spun a lot. And if it gets spun, then people spin away from it. So it doesn't come up a lot. So she probably thought, okay, this will be a little easier. But do we have anything else to say before we wrap up?
Nope.
He's got to go to work. I've got to go to school. So let's wrap this up.
Okay. Well, in that case, guys, we're going to finish this with saying, please like the video, comment on anything you saw on it. What are your predictions for the rest of the tournament now? What are your predictions versus Janine versus Kalinowski this Saturday? It's going to be live. It's going to be interesting, I feel. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Chris, plug yourself.
You know where to find me, everywhere at Skywalker Dome and Who Cares Any Podcast, live Friday at 8:30 Eastern. See you then.
Nico?
At Nico Suave Vergoli, depending on the platform. Combat Wrestling Trivia / Network, depending on the platform, right here on D2A. Richard Schwartz, I'm coming for that Chokeslam Debate Championship on Monday.
Indeed. And Who Cares Anyway podcast, we will be talking about our hot takes, our controversial movie opinions. It's going to be fun. In the Facebook page, I created a post where you can actually comment with your controversial movie opinions, and we'll talk about that on the show. In the meantime, you can follow me at Case Cornelis, or simply on Letterboxd and Facebook, at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter. That's about it. So until our next video, take care.
Yeah!